The Superstore, located just west of the beach near the pizzeria, is still closed due to remodeling. The proprietor of the store, Maggie Post, invites all the listeners to stop by and make some suggestions of your own. It's just a short click to a better tomorrow.
Your head is not the same without a hat. Life is very cold without a hat. That's why we call on the Superstore, because it really likes to show you hats.
Hello. I'm Mr. Super from the Superstore. The Superstore is located near the pizzeria. I always wear a hat. And when I want a new one, I always come here. The Super is closed for remodeling. And I should know. I'm Mr. Super from the Superstore.
The Superstore has hats in all your favorite colors, from yellow to blue and red and white and black, in a wide variety of styles, from the ever-popular baseball cap to an appetizing chef's hat, and all styles in between.
Hats, caps, toppers, headgear. There's all kinds of ways you can accessorize what you wear, and some of the most special ones are on top of your head. We're going to take a look today at some that are inspired by LEGO and even created by LEGO. And they're all different kinds from all different years to take a look at. Okay, I'm back to just one of me. That's good. So, to start things off, we're actually going with one I've previously reviewed on the channel, albeit with the lack of editing or lesser lighting compared to now, and this one I think you guys will enjoy, especially if you're a Bionicle fan. In 2005, Thinkway Toys partnered with LEGO and created this voice changer Bakama mask. I don't actually know the retail price of this thing. It hasn't really been listed on any sources. I haven't found it myself because I received it as a gift, so I never saw it in the stores or knew how rare this thing was. However, if you do find this online, it usually goes for about $75 or more, sometimes $50 on eBay. But it's actually kind of cool if you're into Bionicle. It's one of the few times I've actually heard of a LEGO voice changer mask, and even heard the voice changer mask itself. It has a bunch of functions to it, including a way for you to adjust the helmet, so you can actually have it for all different kinds of head sizes for kids and adults. I mean, me being 22, I can still fit this thing on my head, and this is 4 years later after reviewing that same item. Now, when you do have this on, you also have this little wire that you can just hide around, and you also have this little box. This box is supposed to be the way you change the voice. And you can really just stick this on anywhere like a belt loop or something like that, because it has a small clip on the back. Now, hopefully you're hearing everything I'm saying, because I haven't even done any voice changing stuff. It's just, trying to talk through the mask itself. Now, with this, you have a couple of settings, mostly just play, tremie, and off. And most of your speaker is going to be here. Also, so let's try a few things here. One thing I do have to say is that while this is on, it is actually a little hard to see through the front of it. I mean, it looks great, and definitely would be great for people who want to cosplay as Bakama, because it's just a really solid mask. It's not going to fall apart or anything. But it does have very limited vision. As you can see right there, it has a whole bunch of lights on the sides, so it looks very active and alive, which is cool. And you have this part in the middle where you can actually see through. That's kind of the problem about it. It's really narrow. You're really only going to see forwards with it, not really much on your sides. So if you are wearing it, please be careful. Now, let's see what we can do for voice changing. It does have a couple of buttons in here where it just adds a voice in there, not actually me laughing like that. You can also change the pitch of the voice. That is voice change. So here's the sound with one up, a little bit more, 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 and eventually it cycles back around to the low voice again. So there we have it at the lowest setting. It's actually really weird. I always thought it was a weird thing that it had that kind of an evil laugh to it, especially for a character that's supposed to be a hero in that storyline. Now you also have another button on here to change the voice, and that is to provide an echo. So here it sounds with an echo on the lowest pitch setting. Now it's a little higher pitch setting, it sounds very robotic. I think that's a little bit higher. Well, you can kind of hear how it sounds. And I think, hold on, and yeah, very robotic there. And I almost feel like it's one of those elf voice changers you get around Christmas, like a little microphone or something. Believe me, I have one. Not that I'm bought it myself, it just, just made the sound. There's another caveat to having this thing. Let me just shut that down. There's another weird thing about it, with the low vision in there, and talking with it only for a couple of minutes here, I've actually gotten a very foggy screen. I don't know if it's because I'm talking a lot, or it's just really, I don't know. It is kind of warm in here, at least when I'm doing this review, so just another thing to consider. But honestly, I am happy to have this. It's one of the odder things that I have in my collection, I would say, because I don't really hear too many other people that have come across this on their own. I know one or two that have found it just by chance, and it's a fun thing to play with, especially if you have a costume to go along with it. How about we try this one on from the UFO theme from Classic Space. This mask is actually part of a special bundle with set number 6900 Cyber Saucer from LEGO UFO. Originally released in 1997, this bundle, which is number 6999 if you're looking for it online, used to cost $20 in the United States, and as far as the mask goes, just for this review, there's really not much to say here. It's actually kind of a tight mask, at least for an adult. For a kid, it would seem to be the proper size, but it doesn't seem to be that useful. Even with the eye section, as you see here, there's really not much you can see through it. Most of it you're going to see forward. And, well, at least for my head, it looks a little bit ridiculous from all angles. It's a nice one to pick up if you can find it, but it is also for some reason on the rarer side and a little more expensive. But I do know of a UFO LEGO fan that is going to enjoy this more than I will, so I actually sent this along after recording the video to the Luna Brick. You can check her out on YouTube where she does a bunch of LEGO reviews, even some Transformers and Star Wars reviews, and does talk about retro LEGO stuff the same way that I do. Now, the next one I have for you is one I've actually been trying to figure out for a long time. Over the past couple of months, I've actually posted on Instagram trying to figure out where this came from and what it was supposed to do originally. But as far as I've found, this is from Legoland. It was a souvenir that you could be bought in the gift shops there, and it actually is missing a couple things on the front. It is supposed to have 3 LED lights, as you can see the bulbs there, but with the batteries not really intact, or sort of kind of a hard way to get to them right now, there's no really way for me to turn this on. It actually is missing a cap that's supposed to be on the top of it, which would appear in blue and have just a clear screen on there, so it'll look a little bit more like a miner's hat. But I do have at least the closest example of it right here with this pocket knife flashlight. That is actually a pretty close bulb size, so imagine 3 of these that would be sticking out of here and giving the light off. Which, honestly, if I hold it on there, it's going to look really silly. This is actually retailed originally for $16.99 because the price sticker is actually still on there. And I don't think it even has a year on here. This is kind of an odd thing to research. And when it comes to Legoland merchandise, they're not always documented online. So that's where it becomes a gray area as far as trying to give information about these sorts of oddities for Flashbacks videos. But one thing I do have to say is that it looks really nice. And I'm sure that at the time, I think there was like a mining type of activity, or at least some sort of ride that they had at Legoland, and this would be a cool souvenir to get from that. You actually do have a part on the front, you can pull this down, and I'm not really sure what else it does, but probably gets to the battery on the back, if my guess is hopefully correct. I will have to say, though, I cannot really wear this. I mean, look at me. It is too small for my head. It is, like, the elastic part is coming out a little bit, and it's like just fitting. But it's going to be really awkward for me to wear this for a little bit longer. So if you have any more information about this sort of thing, let me know in the comments below. I've tried to talk with other LEGO fans and even people who work with LEGO, and the hunt is still on. So we'll figure out more about this. And if I do update about that, you will check it in the description below or in the pinned comment down in the comments section. Or if I bring it up again for another video, like I brought up the Vakama mask we talked about earlier. Now, as I mentioned before, we're not only going to talk about official LEGO hatwear, but we're also going to talk about ones inspired by LEGO. And if you've been on the channel for quite some time, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. In fact, I did a marathon related to these hats about a year ago from this recording. This is the BrickBrickGear Omega hat by BrickBrickGear. And they've never paid me to make any videos about this or show this on any social media. This is a thing that I found on my own. I was personally interested in it. I decided to get it, try it out, and I enjoyed it. So I got a bit more to accessorize with it, and I was just happy to meet them in person at BrickFest 2017 in Philadelphia. Now, it actually doesn't come with the blue ones. I'm just showing that for an example. It usually comes with the same color as the hat itself. And you can get these in the link description below. Again, not being paid for this. Just a free ad. The hats themselves are kind of a standard baseball cap with a little bit more rigid structure to it so that the base plates can hold on to there very well. And as you saw, you could actually exchange the different colors of them and swap them out on the top as well. The bottom of them, where the brim is, it usually just slides in and out because it's one giant plastic piece. And the top of it is also a plastic piece, but this one works with Velcro. So it has a way of combining on here, but also an easy way to pop it off. So it's actually pretty cool that way. Now, I've actually bought this around the time last year, but in the youth size. If you find this in Toys R Us, which I have seen in there before and how I got introduced to it, they usually carry the youth sizes. So for kids, it's great, but if you're an adult, you're probably not going to be able to fit this. I know I couldn't. So the adult versions, or the larger size versions, are available only on their website, as well as the ways to accessorize it with other kinds of colors and different pieces. They do have two systems, one that is compatible with LEGO and other building block brands, and one that's a smaller system that they've developed themselves in-house. So it's a pretty simple thing to wear, and actually fits pretty well. It's easy to put on and easy to adjust on the back because it has a whole bunch of snaps. So you just fit it to the size you want to. For me, it only fits on like the second to last, and here's why. If I bring it in any more on the back, the front plate will get a little tight. Like I said before, it's very rigid. So for me, if I really wanted to just hold my hat on a little bit tighter, I would just move this base plate on the front a little bit out so it's not going to fall off, but also enough so it won't hurt my head and such. But as I mentioned before, there are ways for you to accessorize with pieces on here. I've done it several times, and you've probably seen them through Instagram or even other YouTube videos. But as a quick sample, we'll take some large LEGO City truck here, I believe from 2 years ago. It was part of a larger auto transport set, and you can fit something pretty big onto a hat like this. I've actually tested out the 2017 LEGO Creator Dinosaur set. After getting it, reviewing it, I put it on here, and it was a little weighty and a little tall, but it was still able to hold on pretty well. The clutch power, the stability of, attaching pieces works very well, at least with LEGO products. I haven't tested it with Mega Bloks or anything like that. One thing though, depending on the weight of the pieces themselves, you might have already tell, it does tilt the hat a little bit down. So I just have to readjust myself, and we're going okay. I've even done it before where I'd spell out something or put a cool background on the back plate of this. And they have them in various different colors, not just black, but as you saw before, they have blue, and they do also have the corresponding blue one for the plate. They have them in red, and I also have the corresponding red plate. And I believe in here there's also white. As you get this in the mail, this is how it'll look. It is actually pre-bent so that it fits right onto the hat. That is one thing I do want to mention. If you are going to get this and you do want to have the plates and be able to rearrange them over time, do not bend the plate in the opposite direction. If you have a brick separator, it's the best way to take off very small pieces from the side of the hat. I actually had an accident where I was trying to bend one of these in the opposite direction, and it broke in half. And it's not really a thing to say that they have bad quality for it, but because it's been prefabricated to bend in this direction to suit the hat, bending it the opposite way just put too much pressure on it. So that's just a thing that you want to be careful of if you're going to use this over and over again. But yes, I have the white one in here for the brim, I believe. Actually, no, I don't. So, I'm sure you're wondering, what does a hat like this run you? And at this point, that sounds like an infomercial. So the Omega hat goes for $30, starting at that. I think it changes only a little bit, depending on if you get the silver or gold versions, which are also made out of a different and harder material for the hat itself, as well as the plates themselves being really shiny. And as far as these go, which you can buy separate from the brim version, this usually sells for $4.75 on their website. These sell for $5 on their website. And they do have separate packs for the other building variant that they have. You do want to check on that if you want to build with their block system. They are a different type of, structure on top of the hat. But I'm sure they have a pretty good website that'll easily understand how that works. I've used it once or twice in order to get some of these, and I have been told that there will be more different colors coming soon. Other than the colors that I showed here, they do also have pink, dark blue, I mentioned before the gold and silver, and I believe in the future, from what I've heard, they had a lot of response for getting one in green. In fact, I was one of the people who wanted to advocate for a green hat. So maybe you'll see that on a future post. But this is a cool hat I do enjoy a lot. I just want to, adjust it a little bit just to suit my head personally a little bit better. But overall, a pretty fun experience, a fun way to decorate your hat and make it a whole bunch of things in one. Now, after that long-winded commercial, I really just wanted to talk about something that I really liked. I'm not being paid to do this in any way. I have another hat here that I haven't even tried on yet, just fresh out of the box, and it's still Lego inspired. So this is from a site called Zazzle, where a company was able to print up a really cool amount of merchandise that is based on Lego products. Some of them classic space, and in this case we're taking a look at Lego Divers. This item is called the Vintage Divers Jumping Dolphin Ocean Hat, and originally cost about $20 in the United States. I got this during Veterans Day, where I got to save about $3 on it before it was shipped out. And I also got a corresponding t-shirt, which I'll probably just wear in other videos later on. Don't want to worry about showing it here, but I really do like both of these, especially for the Divers theme, which I tend to, go into every so often. Not necessarily on videos, but, when I'm exploring Lego online. So this is how the hat looks. It's a traditional baseball cap, yet again, as you can see the wide brim. You have the Divers logo on there, which is really good quality. And texture-wise, this is a pretty good hat. It even has a couple of things on the back. So it is a snapback, once again, allowing you to adjust it. And I didn't take this out of here, the part to keep it in good shape. But yeah, this is really soft. I also just opened it, so I think it will be soft. The hat itself is made by the Auto Collection, and 100% polyester, 100% nylon, one size fits most. And I actually noticed this right now. I can't wait to wear it, but there's actually a really soft texture that's all around the inside of the hat. It might be a little hard to see here, but this seems like it'll be comfortable. Even if it's like a little hard to tell by the snapback size what will fit on your head, at least it'll have this buffer in here so that it'll be comfortable on your head. That's something I actually would like to see in a future version of the BrickBrick Omega hat, because, like I said before, the base plate on the front could be a little bothersome, so if there was a soft layer like that on the back, that would be pretty cool. So right now I have it set on second to last. Oh yeah, this might actually be my size. This is pretty good. I could probably even set it back one, but yeah, pretty comfortable. And I know it looks like a trucker hat from this angle. It's Yeah, pretty doable. You guys know I've worn it many times in different videos, but I have the Dipper hat from Gravity Falls, actual Disney licensed product, that is very similar in the texture for this. The difference is, like I said before, that inner lining that makes it very comfortable. A little bit of difference in the texture itself. This is actually a bit more, I mean, I have worn it for over a year, so I guess it has a little bit more wear to it, but the surface itself is actually a different texture than this one. This is a little bit more flexible. This is a little more rigid without being too uncomfortable. So I'd have to say, as far as the hats go, I'm glad to have something else than the Gravity Falls hat to wear around regularly and still be really comfortable. I don't think I'm going to wear those other hats that we saw earlier and the masks with them, unless it's maybe a LEGO related event. But thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you next time with more LEGO videos, and let me know what you thought about all the different stuff I covered for Headwear. It's something I wanted to do for quite some time, and I know there's plenty of other LEGO hats out there that I haven't tried yet. So maybe we'll return to this at some later point. And we'll see you next time with more LEGO videos. And for those of you that are sticking around, yeah, I didn't even fade out yet. I'm going to open this up. This is the t-shirt. Now, while I'm not going to wear it on the video itself, I'm at least going to look over the quality of the shirt. Zazzle. I believe the company that made these specific prints was also working on a documentary about cuttlefish, which is pretty interesting. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. And what's also interesting, each order they give you another, take 15% off your next order. Okay, that's not bad. And this one's called the Vintage Divers Jumping Dolphin Ocean Hat. No, that's the one I'm wearing. Vintage Diver Dolphin logo. This one, I think they give you an option to use different colors as far as the hat and the t-shirt, but I just wanted to go with the traditional white color. So this one is by Hanes, or at least printed on Hanes, tagless, and this feels really soft. I am really looking forward to wearing this at some point as a LEGO shirt. Look at that. It's just like the LEGO minifigure that wears it too. Now, there actually isn't a minifigure version of this, but I'd like to think the blue hat could be. This looks great. Really good printing on there. It's simple, but effective. I really do like the fish that they put on. It looks just like the minifigure torso you're seeing now on screen. So, I'm really digging how this is. And I'll have to add that in for my LEGO t-shirts. Both fan-made and official from LEGO. So, now we're done here. Thanks again for watching, for the little bonus there. And we'll see you next time with more LEGO videos.